Once upon a time, Unreal and Gears of War creator Cliff Bleszinski launched a new gaming studio called Boss Key and released their debut title, Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers was not only a fast-paced arena shooter, but also a hero shooter with a variety of classes, characters, and low-gravity environments, which made an entirely unique gameplay experience in the shooter market when it released back in 2017. Due to a variety of business decisions like launching as a paid game during the rise of free-to-play and PlayStation console exclusivity despite a huge fan base on Xbox thanks to Gears of War, publisher Nexon quickly shut down Lawbreakers, leaving many fans who actually loved the game without any type of recourse. No one could purchase or play Lawbreakers despite a mostly positive reception from actual gamers and players. This slap-in-the-face failure that most would actually blame Nexon for led to the closure of Boss Key and Bleszinski straight-up retiring from the gaming industry. Fast forward to 2024, and dedicated fans have somehow resurrected Lawbreakers. They spent years bringing Lawbreakers back to a playable state, and I'm here to tell you that I played it for myself this weekend and I had a blast. Let's talk about how Lawbreakers somehow lives and how you can play it and where things go from here. So this is how everything started. Yesterday, April 13th, Cliff Bleszinski himself tweeted, "Somehow Lawbreakers is coming back. See below. If you're interested in this weekend's public playtest or future test, join the RELB Discord server to learn how to get set up and keep up with the game and the current news." So if you actually join this Discord, you'll see that there's actually a setup guide and a launcher for how to install this revived version of Lawbreakers. So the servers aren't always online. This was one of their first big public tests. But you don't even need to own the game to install it. They explain how to install the game, how to boot it. It's a bit more complicated if you're somebody who's, just used to playing games on Steam or the Epic Game Store. It's not exactly through a storefront. And it's buggy right now. It's not super easy to launch if you're not really super computer savvy, but it does work. You just gotta follow the instructions here, and the people in the Discord are actually great. Now let's talk about the experience of actually playing Lawbreakers in 2024. I am somebody who is a big fan of the Unreal games. I was an even bigger fan of the Gears of War franchise. It's one of my 5 favorite franchises of all time. I still, post CliffyB, I still think Gears of War 5 is incredibly underrated. Anyway, I never got to play Lawbreakers in 2017. At the time, I don't even know what I was doing. I was actually in office. I was an elected official. I was the mayor back then. But anyways, I was probably playing Destiny full-time. I don't know. I didn't get to play Lawbreakers, and it always burned me that I never got to, because it was a game I was really interested in, and I just straight up didn't play. I don't think I owned a PlayStation at the time either. But anyway, so when I saw this, this is my chance. I don't know how long it's going to be online. I got to play this thing. And I'm just got to say, the world needs more fast-paced, badass arena shooters like Lawbreakers. Where the world has just been missing this. Competitive gaming, it really misses those Quake-style games, those Unreal-style games, those arena shooters that just don't exist on the market anymore. I mean, yes, they still exist. Quake Champions still exist. You can still play a lot of them, but they're not prominent. And in playing Lawbreakers, which is a technically more recent arena shooter, especially in the Quake Unreal style, the game feels great. And right now, there are bugs. There's certain characters' abilities that don't work. There's hit registration issues. Even with those things aside, and again, remember, this is a fan revival project. They're fixing all this stuff. It's going to take time. They're not paid game developers. The game still feels great. The low gravity environments and levels, great variety in the characters, very fast-paced gameplay. There's only one mode active in the test right now, but I know the game does have multiple modes. Like, there is no reason that this game, I feel like if it launched in 2024 as a free-to-play game, or if somehow Nexon or whoever, if Nexon sold the rights, brought this back and just said, hey, it's free-to-play, supported by microtransactions, and this might be a stretch to say this, but I feel like this game could succeed. Like, all the pieces are there now in the days of games as a service, which hadn't quite risen the way that they had back in 2017. For this game to have a long, healthy life, right? Like, seasons introducing new characters, new heroes with new weapons, new maps. Because the gameplay, the core of the game is competitive, it's super fun, it's super unique, and there's just not a lot of games these days with that, like, high mobility, that, like, high-flying antics, and also coupled the longer time to kill right? Like that allows for outplaying other people and outplaying your opponents. It's just super unique, and I feel like, you know, again, like Lawbreakers, literally, if somehow they could bring this game back officially, I feel like it could perform. So it's awesome to see CliffyB drawing attention to this, to see him kind of vindicated, that people, even all these years later, 7 years later, still want to play Lawbreakers, still want it to be revived. This revival team, again, has done incredible work here. They've got more work to do to really get it back to, you know, the AAA bug-free state. But I think here's what's interesting. CliffyB publicly put it out there, right? Which is awesome. And I agree with his decision to support the devs. But now that he's put it out there, and there's people streaming this game, myself being one of them, I streamed it. You know, his wife, Lee Lauren, streamed it. Is Nexon gonna freak out? Because Nexon isn't really known for being, and you know, hey, personal opinion here, super supportive. A, of their games, B, of their communities. You know, Maple Story is one of the games that they're known for. The Finals is also published, believe it or not, by a subsidiary and developed by a subsidiary of Nexon. Has been very successful. But because of, you know, what happened with Lawbreakers, and I think there's been some other Nexon games that were mildly at least successful and didn't make it, is Nexon gonna freak out and try to shut these guys down? Or are they gonna embrace this, like I said, and at least let it live, let it at least be like an unofficial thing? Or ultimately, here's the hope. I don't know if we'll get this, you know, but we can always hope, right? Like, will they see that there's a desire for this game and turn it into a business opportunity? Will they bring it back as a free-to-play game supported by microtransactions? Would they do some type of straight-up just re-release and keep it online? Can they find an investor to do so, to pay for it? That kind of thing. Or, God forbid, like, could we bring it back and actually get new content? That's not unheard of. A lot of games are doing that these days. You know, it would be so incredible, and I think actually playing it again for a lot of people, or for me, my first time in 2024, shows that this game still has a ton of potential. I would just love to see it come back. So join the Discord if you want to actually, you know, get instructions on how to play this thing, how to play the next playtest. Servers are now closed for the weekend. They haven't said when their next playtest is going to be, but they are going to announce it there when the time comes. Obviously, that's the only way to know. Follow Cliffy on Twitter. Maybe he'll put out some word about it. But join that Discord for info on how to install the game, how to launch the game, how to actually play it. And I can't wait to see where this goes. This could end up being, I mean, it's a feel-good story already right now, right? To see this thing come back online and see these fans work so hard to get it back online. But maybe, just maybe, it'll turn into more. So, if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. We love covering badass games here. Make sure you check out my other channel, Midnight Mare, where we cover Dead Drop and Midnight Society exclusively. I'm working on my next live-action short film in the Dead Drop universe. You can support us on Patreon for behind-the-scenes looks. Check out all our sponsors down below, ways to support me. You can get discounts, all that stuff. See you in the next one. Mayor Reynolds out. This video is sponsored by HumbleBundle.com, one of the best gaming stores on the internet. You can get games, software, all sorts of digital tools on this website at discounts, some of which are in bundles. So, you know, you buy it, the more you buy, the less you pay kind of thing. If you use my link down in the description, not only will you get great games at great prices, but you'll also support my channel and content in the process. So check out Humble Bundle, and thanks for sponsoring us, guys.